Once the Anaconda distribution installation is complete, you're going to want to execute a couple of commands to make sure that everything is fully up to date. To do that, you're going to begin by opening a command line window on your system. Now, in the case of Mac OS users, you can do that with a terminal window from the Applications folder in your Utilities subfolder of that Applications folder. If you're on Windows, you're going to want to open the Anaconda Prompt, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in just a moment. It's important to execute that as administrator to ensure that the software is allowed to update your system. And for Linux users, this will depend on your particular Linux distribution. Some of them will have a terminal app just like on Mac OS. Others will simply have shell windows where you can execute the commands that I'm about to show you. Now, let me go ahead and switch over to my Windows virtual machine for a moment. For those of you who are on Microsoft Windows, once you've gone and installed Anaconda, you're going to have in your Start button an Anaconda prompt that's available to you. You can look for it yourself through the Start menu, or you can simply search for Anaconda prompt down here in the search bar. As you can see, it pops up in the search list, and if I right-click that and select Run as Administrator, that's the way that you're going to want to ensure that you execute the Anaconda command prompt anytime that you intend to modify your system, which happens when you're updating the code. Once you agree to that, then you'll see the Anaconda prompt show up on your screen. Switching back over to the PowerPoint slides here for a moment. Once you've got your command line window open on your system, you're going to execute two different commands. Conda update Conda is going to install any updates to the tool called Conda that you'll be using frequently to install additional libraries. And then Conda update -- all is going to look at all of the libraries and other software that were installed when you installed the Anaconda Python distribution, and it will check for updates to all of them. It will also look at the dependencies between all those different software libraries and tell you which individual pieces need to be updated. Now, I'm going to switch over to a terminal window on my system just to show you what the interaction looks like. I've already executed in this window here the Conda update Conda command. Now, this will take a few moments to a few minutes to update depending on how much stuff you've installed along the way, and sometimes it will have no updates, and sometimes it will show items that need to be downloaded and installed or updated or even downgraded if there was, for example, a bug in a specific version, and therefore that version might have been pulled from the software distribution websites. So in this case, you can see that it's saying that several packages will be downloaded, several packages will be updated, one will be superseded by a new library, and a couple of packages would be downgraded if I type Y and press enter to indicate that yes, I would like to do the update. Similarly, once that command completes, you're going to want to execute Conda update -- all, and again, as it looks at all the different software that's installed to figure out the dependencies among those items, that will take a couple of minutes, and then you'll see something like what I have on the screen here indicating what packages will be downloaded, what packages will be updated, and if I scroll down you can see here there's also another superseded package and another downgraded package if I were to execute this right at this moment in time. and as I showed you on the previous window, you would type Y for yes or N for no and press enter to complete the execution of that command. So you'll want to do this the first time that you install the software. If you want to keep the software up to date, you might want to do these two commands every once in a while. If you're working in a scenario where you need to have reproducibility, then one of the things that you'll see in these videos in a later lesson is how to create custom Anaconda environments where you can have specific versions of libraries installed so that you could then pass along those requirements to anybody who's going to try to reproduce your results, and they can set up a corresponding custom environment on their machines as well.